you're going to be at a disadvantage. People who do understand energy are going to put you to work to use your energy for their benefit. So what you got to do is take your energy back and use your own energy for your own benefit. This is how it's going to work. Now, there's a concept. Dr. Bruce Lipton talked about this concept in his book, The Biology of Belief. He spoke on constructive interference. He calls it good vibes. When you walk into a room full of people who are enlightened beings, meaning they're lit up from within. Enlightened means you're basically a person that can light yourself up through your solar plexus. You can charge yourself up. You can find joy and bring the joy wherever you go. That is a different capability, a different type of energy. So being that person, that individual who has constructive interference, it means you go around someone and you are, say you're person A. You have a distinct energy wave. Here's your energy waves going like this. Realize this. You're all energy waves, which is why at the Alkalign Lifestyle Institute, we measure things by wavelength. So we don't count calories, we basically count angstroms. Angstroms are a measurement of your DNA. They're so small that all they are doing is they're measuring the capacity and the amount of frequency, spin, speed that the wavelength that you are giving off is. The rule is the law of vibration. Everything is vibrating, including you. You're at a really high rate of vibration, which is why you don't actually realize that or recognize that. But everything around you is also vibrating, meaning it's all based upon resonance. There's no physical matter, it's just energy. So, this is point A, person A. Person A has this level of wavelength. Okay? That's person A. What attaches is this, person B. So now person B attaches themselves, that's person B. What happens to this wave at this area right here is it combines at this area. And so now, because it combines at this area, your wavelength goes even higher amplitude. That's constructive interference. Good vibes. When you walk into a room, when you walk into a place or a space around other people, based upon entanglement, you get that energy. Say you were feeling bad, say you were feeling sick, say you were feeling down, say you were feeling lethargic. You go into a place full of energy and you get that energy from the group because it's good, positive energy. Now, this is the other thing. Here's the second part. Same person now, okay? Same person. So this person's walking out, and then you have person A. Here's their wave. Okay, person A, here's their wave. It ends up here. Now, instead of person B meeting that person on this side, this person B is intersecting. They're out of phase with this person. What does that mean? This basically means this person has destructive interference. They have bad vibes. So here's an X. Right here is going to be a check. Is it going to be a plus one? Is it going to be a minus one, plus one? So what happens instead is that this energy wave was supposed to meet up with the other energy wave, but now it missed the mark. So now what happens is it cancels out and it flatlines. If you've ever seen in a hospital when somebody's on the bed and they're wired up and they're basically checking their heart's beating, it's go boop, boop, it's going up and down. When somebody dies from this physical reality, they are flatlined. It means they're dead. So by this definition, this means more life, constructive interference. This means more death, destructive interference. When you go into a place or into a space with people around you that are negative people, that are pessimistic people, that are giving out bad intentions, And this is where we're going to actually get into this because your relationships have to come with consequences. If you don't know the consequences of your relationship, you pick bad people. Okay? So we'll begin this teaching with an experiment. So I'll describe how these things work to you. There was an experiment back in the 1990s called the double photon experiment. What they did was they took one photon and they split it into two, literally two parts of the same thing. Photons are actually emissions of light energy. There's photons from the environment, and then we as human beings give off biophotons because we are actually bio, you can call it bioengineered or just we're bioelectric beings. So we give off life, electric, life photons that comes from organic life. Now, when they split these two photons, they took a special contraption. This was in a Swiss, um, there were Swiss engineers that did this. They took a special contraption, they shot one photon 7 miles in one direction, they shot the other photon 7 miles in the opposite direction. Now, what happened was they're 14 miles apart, two photons. Think of it like person A and person B. Okay? Person A and person B. Because think of it like this. If you have a brother or a sister, if you two siblings, you come from your mother, your sibling comes from your mother, so y'all came from the same place. Okay? Now, what they did was they basically observed each photon. They would change up the structure of one photon, and immediately, simultaneously, the same thing would happen to the opposite photon. What you did to one would happen to the other. Therefore, there was no separation. There was no time delay. There was nothing. Because what was being said was, because of the unified field, nothing is separate. Now, hear what I'm saying. I just told you, based upon this experiment, that there is a unified field. Nothing is separate. If you're walking around thinking in separation, you're incorrect. You're going against the universal law, the principles of universal law. If you're the person with the bad attitude, you're the person with negative energy. When you walk into a room, what you're doing is you are canceling out other people's energy waves. And this is how the expression of entanglement actually works. That's entanglement. So think of entanglement in terms of, let's, one more example for you guys to understand this. Think of you have a thunderstorm. Here's a thunderstorm right here. Here are some raindrops. These raindrops are going to fall into a puddle of water. They're falling into some water. What they do is they fall and they make ripples. Every raindrop that's falling is making a ripple. Okay? You've all experienced rain. I'm from the South, so it rains a lot down there. There's been floods going on, there's been all types of things going on. So when it rains, you have raindrops that hit into the water, and the energy waves that are hitting out interact with the opposite wave. It's just like constructive interference slash destructive interference. Based upon the ocean that you're landing these drops of water inside of, based upon that, you're going to see what you're entangled with, whether the energy is good or the energy is bad. And here's how I'm going to tell you. If your energy is not doing well, if your energy is not great, you all are smart people, but honestly, this is something that you, well, that's great. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm a smart person. And obviously, people who come to my live stream, they have their own, um, you know, comments and opinions on things. But you know what? I only give a fuck. So what I'm gonna tell you guys right now is that this concept is the energy perspective based upon interpersonal relationships. So the reason why people's relationships suck so bad and they're so miserable and they're so angry at other people is because they don't understand how energy works. That's why I'm here to teach you guys about it. So let's keep going. So, based upon this level, when you walk inside of your house, say you're married, say you have a spouse, husband, wife, whatever it is, and you're the person that's off today. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you woke up with a bad taste in your mouth, you woke up with a shitty attitude, like this person up on my live stream, that whatever. People have their comments, say whatever you want to say. You guys are free to do it. What I'm saying is when people come in there with bad energy and they give off that bad energy, that is the bad vibe. So when they walk themselves into a room, they cancel out everybody else's positivity. Because you know why they say misery loves company? Because that's how magnetism works. Whichever frequency that you're on, no one can throw me off of my frequency because I enjoy my life. I have joy from my life. It took me to be purified in order to see that. So when I see people who are negative, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel any sympathy for them because I understand that it's a choice. I chose not to be that way, which is why I'm here now, today. People who choose that way are weak and they're cowards. That's essentially what I believe. So I used to be one until I stopped doing it. So, first off, based upon these raindrops, what you think of these raindrops as people, in an ocean of energy, which is what we all reside in, a person with a positive mental attitude is going to propel themselves forward in life. Negative mental attitude will go into a ditch. So, first topic based upon entanglement. Why you're entangled with bad energy is because of your relationships. Let me ask all of you, how many friends do you have that you would tell your dreams and your goals to? Tell me right now, how many people inside your family dynamic, your best friends, your distant friends, cousins, would you say, yo, bro, I got this amazing idea. It's gonna get us $1 billion. I'm gonna change 1 billion people's lives. I'm gonna be so rich and wealthy and healthy. How many of y'all got somebody like you would go right up in there and tell your favorite, your most your sacred idea to right now that won't go put you down and say, what you gonna do that for? That shit ain't gonna work. How many people got somebody like that to tell you, don't do that. Go get a job. Keep it simple. Just settle for this. Why don't you just take that? Why don't you just be normal? Why don't you just be like the rest of us? There is where you're going to find relationships you're entangled with bad energy. If you can't tell me you got somebody who's unconditionally loving to yourself that will support you in your endeavors, you got bad relationships. I'm telling you guys right now, and you know where this comes from. It mainly comes from the people who know you the best. So your family members. Family members are going to be drastically negative. Any one of you who want to change your life and change your lifestyle, I'm telling you right now that the people on the outside will look at you in a way that's going to deter you from wanting to do it. Most people are broke. Most people are unhappy. Most people live miserable lives because the people who they're involved with in their relationships are the ones that are keeping them that way. Why is it? Because you're too damn afraid to be disliked by other people. You care so much about what other people think. Based upon entanglement, you want everybody to like your ass. But that's not how this world works. You see, the world is based upon a mirror perspective. So it's based upon a mirror. Your entire life is based upon mirrors. Everyone around you is a mirror of you. So if you don't love you unconditionally, nobody around you loves you unconditionally. They look at you with the same level of doubt, the same level of distrust, dissatisfaction, shame, guilt that you see yourself with. Once you stop caring about what other people think about you, how other people feel about you, then you're free. But until you do that, you're not free at all. You're living a life just like a slave. A slave in terms of societal factors, a slave in terms of your self image. Because your self image is so weak, you can even create your own self image. Relationships, relationships. It's all based upon interpersonal relationships. So they do not, and yes, yes, that comment is completely right. Completely right. The Holy Spirit. We're gonna get to that. Let me write this down for you guys because we're gonna get to that. And keep on commenting. Look, I don't care if people agree or disagree. I don't care. It's a community. Come in and share whatever you want to share. Come in and learn whatever you want to learn. Just don't disrespect anybody in my live stream. Don't talk crazy to anybody in my live stream. Don't do any of that. You can speak your opinions, do whatever you want to do. But do not, under any circumstances, condemn anybody up in this chat. I'll send your ass up out of here. Because I don't. What I don't do, nobody else can come and do. We don't talk crazy to other people. That's not how we do it. All right? Speak for yourself and believe whatever you believe for yourself. That's how we do it. So, relationships, because your interpersonal relationship with yourself is broken, because you don't understand who the creator is, you never sat still and understood, be still and know who God is. Be still and know that I am God. I am stands for I, okay, God is. I am. God is. So you realize that when you say I am something, you're saying God is something. Because at that moment in time, when you're speaking out the I am, that represents your portion that you got from the creator, from the divine, and it represents you. So do not, under any circumstances, whether you understand why or not, speak outwardly negativity about yourself. Do not condemn yourself. Do not cast a bad spell upon yourself. Do not do something like that. Why would you want to do that? Because you don't know who you are. So people use themselves as soundboards, speaking out constant negativity the entire time, wondering why their life sucks. You spoke that life that you are experiencing into existence. And if you don't see it from that perspective, first of all, you're unaccountable. Second of all, you're lying. And third of all, transparency is gone. And vulnerability, you can't access God. Because you only get to the divine by being vulnerable to ask for help. You have not because you ask not. So if you don't have it in your life, you have not because you ask not. You didn't ask for it. You didn't ask for harmony. You didn't ask for unconditional love. So you don't have it. You don't have wealth. You don't have health. You don't have your own. You don't have the ability to do what you're supposed to do for yourself. You don't have that ability. You lost that because you never asked for it. Okay? There's a prayer, and y'all play. There's a lot of Bible people on, where I see on these apps and things talking about, well, the Bible says this, but okay, so listen, because y'all probably understand the Bible verse. It says, "Ask and you shall receive." That is one verse. But the verse that's in the Gospel of Thomas, that was found in 1945, they found a gospel called the Gospel of Thomas, the Good News of Thomas. Thomas was a scribe that followed Jesus. That's what they said. They said that his prayer that Jesus told him was not ask and you shall receive. On the contrary, write this down. It was not ask and you shall receive. What he said was, it was ask without hidden motive. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. That's what he said. It's not asking you shall receive. It's ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Meaning, your feeling is the prayer. That's how you pray to the divine. You pray to the divine based upon your level of feeling. When you go into relationships with people who are broken, say your spouse is broken, say your girlfriend is broken, boyfriend is broken, husband, wife, one of y'all is broken, mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, whomever your caretaker was from your first 0 to 7 years of age. That's your subconscious program. When your subconscious program has been embedded with negativity based upon your relationships. You grow up like a negative, bad attitude having 7-year old because you stop getting programmed. That's what happens. If you don't continue on the process of learning and changing and upgrading yourself, enlightening yourself, and trusting yourself with your own growth, with your own life, you stop. You walk around here crying because you don't understand how to respond. Being responsible is just being able to respond. If you don't know how to respond, it's because all you do is live in reactionary mode. We'll get into this again when I talk about disease. So I'll actually talk about disease right now. Let's dive right into this. Now, how do your relationships cause disease? Easy. I'll put a few words that you guys will understand. Culture. Let's talk about culture. Culture. There is a culture, especially if you're a brown skinned person. There's a culture in the South where you eat barbecue, gumbo. They call it soul food, but the food isn't soul food at all. That food is disconnected from your soul because the majority of that food came from a slave diet. So people wonder why they're still slaves. You eat like one. So why would you behave any other type of way? It came from the culture. So based upon the level of disease is caused by a person. All disease is autoimmune. Autoimmune disease means your autonomic nervous system is attacking itself. That's what that means. That means you have two sides. Your ANS is responsible for things like breathing. It controls your heart rate. It controls your blood pressure. It controls your bowel movement. It controls your digestion. It controls your sexual urges, whether you can have an erection or force you to ejaculate. It controls the way that your heart beats in terms of the rate of your heartbeat. It controls your sneezing, flickering of your eyes whenever you cough. It controls everything behind the scenes that you don't actually consciously recognize. If you had to sit there and each moment tell yourself to breathe, every moment tell yourself to breathe. Let me say this again. Every moment, stop and tell yourself to breathe. Every 5 seconds, make sure that you pump the air into your lungs. Everybody would be dead because you damn sure would have forgot that a long time ago. That is that is a staple between when you have the communication with the Creator, God, within you, or you're disconnected. When a person is suffering from disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, that is a glymphatic backup of waste material inside their brain. So if you have anything that's wrong with your brain, your glymphatic system, your glymphatic system is backed up. Waste material inside your brain. When you go around somebody who's sick, your immune system automatically turns on to protect you. But if your immune system is not working right, then everybody around you is going to make you sick. There you go. When you walk into a room of destructive interference, bad vibes, sick people, negative people, the more negative you are, the more sick you are. The more broke you are, the more miserable you are, the more by yourself and alone and acidic you actually are. I'm just telling you all the truth. I'm telling you based upon my life experience. I'm not here to go regurgitate some damn research articles. I don't care. That stuff only backs up whatever I've experienced to actually clarify whatever I've gone through and tell me this stuff is actually real. When you go around a room full of sick people, if your immune system is working, you're at a high level of vibration, you don't have any effect. But if you're not, and you allow them to come into you, you allow them to affect your energetic field, they drain you like a vampire. That's what's called energy vampires. When you go around somebody who's always talking about how sad they are, how sick they are, literally they're glorifying it. They're showing you their bandage from the hospital. They're talking about, yeah, last week I had to go get surgery for such and such. Yeah, last week I hurt my knee for this and this. Yeah, last week, man, I was suffering with the flu. Man, I had a high fever. You don't talk about anything else, but why your ass so damn sick? I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how it works. I'm telling you how it works. You're going to see that, again, interpersonal relationships. That's what causes it. The culture. Listen to the music that more melanated people listen to. Go to a top 40. Tell me all the songs that talk about beauty and health and wealth, and they ain't talking about glorification, being seen by other people, being liked by other people, talking about this person doing this thing, this person doing that thing, drinking, smoking, sexing, whatever they want to talk about. They ain't talking about anything positive, nothing that's going to relate to somebody's growth. They're not talking about any of that stuff. They lost the urge for that. That stuff is gone. So now you don't realize that literally the music based upon the culture. You have a diseased culture. I'm just telling you, you have a diseased culture. And I struggled with this. When I grew up, Lafayette, Louisiana, my favorite music to play was No Limit Soldiers, Master P, Cash Money Millionaires, Death Row Records, Tupac and them, Snoop, all the old stuff, Dog Pound, man. Bad Boy, Notorious Big, all this stuff. I'm playing all these different things, and I'm like, why am I always just so on edge all the time? I'm listening to it. It's in my headphones. It's whenever I go to the park to go hoop. But I'm listening to all this negative stuff all the time. Damn, can I find anything that's like a ballroom that just makes me celebrate life? No. Everything that you're hearing is talking about how life is awful, how life is a struggle, life is a survival mode just based upon the culture. It's a diseased culture. You glorify drinking 40 ounces out of a brown bag. You glorify smoking weed. Why? I had to go and really relate to why am I thinking like this? It's based upon my inner chemistry, my body chemistry, my physiology. We'll get to that too about how this works. So I'll talk about this in terms of at the end. I'll talk about physiology because that's based upon intention. So the reason why people are sick, if you have type 1 diabetes, you're insulin resistant. You don't even release the insulin from your own brain. It comes from your brain. Insulin comes from your own brain. You release it from your own head. So type 2 diabetes is when you're not insulin, you don't have to inject yourself with it. You shouldn't do that in the first place. You should never give yourself something from the outside that your body can do from the inside. You just clean the system. You purify the system. You purify the system. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if you got it, the person around you got it. If you got some sort of sickness, the person around you got the sickness, or they're going towards that sickness. Because the same lifestyle patterns that you are experiencing and living, the person around you is living the exact same thing, or you would not be in resonance. You would not be together with that person. That's just how harmony works. So every disease, autoimmune, is based upon sympathetic, which is fight or flight. So I'll put sympathetic. Okay, so remember this. Sympathetic, parasympathetic. You have fight or flight, you have relax and repair. Okay? That's A and S. That's based upon disease. Sympathetic, fight or flight. Your level of stress is entirely too high. On this side, it's going to be rest and digest. So right away, you realize that you need to be calm and relaxed. The calmer you are, the wealthier you are. The calmer the heart you are, the healthier you are. The calmer you are, the most peaceful you are. The more magnetic you are, the calmer you are. Next up is again people. So based upon entanglement of people, what does this mean? That means that you will attract constructive interference or destructive interference. You'll attract in resonance with how you're being. So because I love myself unconditionally, because I'm authentic, because I'm transparent and I'm vulnerable and I'm accountable, I will attract the same people in resonance with me. The people who are not in resonance with me will not like me. It's just how energy works. I don't have to concern myself with bad people if I'm not a bad person. If I'm being honest and true to myself, living my life with integrity, I have no problem with who comes into my waking state. I have no issue. I have no problem. But if I don't do that, if I lie to myself on the daily, if I tell myself yes when I really mean no, what does that mean? Somebody asks you to go do something right now. Somebody says, "Hey, come with me to the store," or "Hey, come with me to this club on Friday night. Come with me out to dinner. I got this person that wants to go on like a double date. So can you come with me to go?" And you say yes, knowing damn well you'd rather be home with your dog or your cat or your kids or just yourself in a book. But you said yes when you should have said no. You really want to say no. But what does that mean? You're people pleasing. Why are you people pleasing? Oh, you don't love yourself enough. That's why you're people pleasing. You don't love yourself enough. And because of that, whenever you realize that all you had to do was sit there and say, what do you really want? Well, there's a problem. The problem was you never asked yourself what you really wanted. You don't even know. How sad. How sad is that? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to put you down. What I'm telling you is that you're worth knowing. You're actually worth knowing what is it that you really want. You're worth knowing that. You're worth knowing that. You're worth experiencing that. You should think of yourself in a different way. You should think of yourself as a person that deserves whatever you have in your lifetime. And if you're not thinking like that, that's a problem. That's a problem. People pleasers are just people who have not opened up their root chakra and also have not opened up their sacral chakra. There's two areas, okay? Two areas that you're going to be accounting for. Two areas. Those two areas that you're accounting for are going to be the root and the sacral. What does the root stand for? Your root chakra stands for, in simplicity, safety. It's what keeps you safe. This is the area of the perineum, the area of your genitals, the area of when you begin to have your vitality and your sexual energy begins to rise. Once you have the sacral, which is going to be this flap of bone at the base of your spine, every breath that you take, this sacral opens up. It's like sutures at the base of your spine, and it opens up. It opens up whenever you inhale, it closes whenever you exhale. It's just like opening up a little trash can, you push it down and put your foot. Okay, and each time that you're pumping this energy from the base to the top of your system, it's going to get trapped wherever you have stored emotions. Most people at the first three energy centers, which are consumers. Your root is a consumer. Sacral is a consumer. The plexus, solar plexus, which is your gut, which is a combination of your liver, your stomach, your pancreas. These things provide you with the energy, like the system, like the engine in your body. What you need to do in order to unlock this energy so that you stop walking around like a small person, a limited person, and everyone can take control of you. You have to get this energy to be freed up. So first thing that you gotta do, I suggest you do this. You Kegel. You need to Kegel. This is the flexing of the muscles. They're between, I believe, the genitals and the anus. Right in this, there's a flap of skin. You have to Kegel. It's just like whenever you go to the restroom and you go to urinate, you go pee. You stop the flow. I'm talking about males as well, because I'm obviously I'm a male. Women, you can do it too. Women, I'm sure that women probably know how to Kegel more than men do, but you should find a regimen to actually do this. It's an inner muscle. You have to do this by literally holding it, and then the longer that you hold it, whether it's 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and you continuously do this. You can do it 100 times a day, 300 times a day. I can do it 300 times a day at 3 seconds each hold. I can Kegel. It takes me about 5 minutes, and I just do it with my eyes closed. I meditate on something, and then I just keep on activating my energy. I just keep on holding it. This is actually going to increase your sexual prowess, men, for sure, for certain.
because you'll be able to control your erections better, okay, and also control your ejaculations better. So learn this: whenever you're stressed in sympathetic resonance, in fight or flight mode, all the energy leaves your visceral organs. So all the blood and the oxygen leaves your visceral organs, and it goes out to your arms and legs. It's supposed to stay here. It needs to stay here. If it stays here, what happens then is it can function. The process of digestion, which is called peristalsis, the process of getting the energy flow from up here to down here, which is the blood flow, to basically create your libido and have intimacy, okay? The functions of not only defecation, to get rid of the waste, and your lymphatic drainage. Your lymphatics they're charged up by the energy. So you need to be exercising and moving and generating enough contraction, all right? And that's what you're going to see whenever you have an issue, when you don't have the Kegel's stopping you, all right? It's creating the energy flow, but no Kegeling is going to make you have loose bowel, loose functions, okay? So we want to have better people, meaning we need to be a better person to have better people. Let's go next with your entanglement with the food. Oh, this is going to be real powerful right here. This is going to be real powerful. I'm going to get behind the camera for that so you guys can see this. Here comes the food. Your entanglement with the food. See, mind you, I said you're entangled with bad energy. There's bad people. There's also bad food. There's really bad food out there. Let's talk about the bad food. So there's called something, when you look at food that's processed food, fast food, which isn't really food at all, okay? Most of it is, they have a process by which they have to keep the shelf life so extended that most food you go to the grocery store to go purchase inside of the aisles, not produce, inside of the aisles, is contaminated with some sort of chemicals that keep it along the shelf life for a long period of time. All fast food. There's a chemical called MSG, monosodium glutamate. It's called the Chinese restaurant syndrome. What they do is they put this inside of all fast food because this basically enhances the food like a drug to make you crave it more. If you've ever been out at nighttime, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you pass In-N-Out Burger, or you pass Checkers, or you pass McDonald's, something like that, you see a drive-thru full of people at 1 o'clock in the morning. Why are you eating at 1 o'clock in the morning? Because they have something that basically makes this food like a dope sandwich, like a drug sandwich. And you're like, why is this like this? Because the chemicals of the food are making you crave it more. That's why the food is literally poisonous. So when you go in to go get any kind of fast food, what you're doing is you're at a certain level of emotional place inside of your body. And that's what's causing you to crave this thing. So, because of your entanglement with bad energy, like I talked about, destructive interference, you had bad interference, somebody yelled at you, you got in an argument, you got in a fight, then you're going to start craving something. You're going to go crazy to soothe you. People use the food to make them feel better, which is crazy. Because you don't need the food. You probably just need some water. You see this tub I got right here? You probably just need this. This is what you need. But people don't have control over, literally, their hormones. There's 2 hormones. It's called leptin and ghrelin. They control your hunger cravings. They control your fullness cues. When you are thrown off in sympathetic resonance, fight or flight mode, high stress mode, you don't know if you're hungry or if you're thirsty. I'm telling y'all that all stress right now is created based upon dehydration. Water is the key. So when you consume foods that don't have any energy, don't measure your food by calories, measure your food by what's called angstroms. If you look up your DNA strands are measured by angstroms. You're gonna learn all kind of science here today because I'm giving y'all all the game right now. Okay? They aren't gonna put angstroms on the back of a damn cheeseburger or on the back of a box of Cheerios, they're not going to put that on there because they don't want you to know that you're based upon energy waves and based upon light. You need to eat the light. You need to eat the light. That's why it's called the solar plexus. Solar panel, they're fueled by sunlight. You got to eat the foods that are closest to the sun. The foods that are closest to the sun are going to instantly give you the energy that you need to thrive in your lifetime. You don't have the energy, you don't have what you need, you have a problem. Again, okay? So the food, you need to focus on the highest angstroms of energy food. That means raw fruits are first. They get you about 8 to 12,000 angstroms of energy. Next is going to be raw vegetables. They're about 8 to 10,000 angstroms of energy. And then you'll have nuts and seeds, and then you'll have cooked vegetables and also cooked fruits. You can look at quinoa, things like that. Those are actually fruits. But they're also cooked, so they drain a little bit of the energy, but they're still higher quality energy than you going to go get fast food. So a healthy person has around 6,500 angstroms of energy. 6,500 angstroms of energy. A sick person has about 4,875 angstroms of energy. Once you get to that level where you're low like that, you're susceptible to getting sick. So your job is to continue to fuel yourself with the right energy. Now, in the Alkalign Lifestyle, what do we teach you? We teach you how to eat a bioelectric plant-based diet. That is the goal, a biological plant-based diet. That's what we serve, that's what we teach people how to eat. My partner, she is a private personal chef. She only serves plant-based food based upon the level of energy that we want to give to people. So people say, well, what about meat? Meat has actually 0 angstroms of energy. It has none. There's no light inside the meat because obviously it has to die in order for you to eat it. So there is no energy that comes from that because it's already dead. So if you were a lion or a tiger or a bear and you were actually a true carnivore like my pit bulls at home who do consume ground beef and ground pork and things like that, they can eat that stuff. We can't. We don't eat that. We give it to them. They have a shorter digestive tract than a person. So real carnivores have a shorter digestive tract than a person because they can get that meat to go in. They have heightened levels of acid inside the stomach. They can dissolve all that. A person, no. It sits inside your gut, stays there, it ferments, and it makes you sick. That's why you see people who consume all these things wearing all types of perfumes and colognes because they stink. Because they have rotting foods and meats and dairy products and things inside their bodies that are fermenting that smell awful. It's making their body odor smell awful. It's dying inside. And it's killing you from the inside out. Here's the thing. If you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. That's another thing. Your skin's connected to your brain. If you can't consume it and feel healthy consuming it, do not put it on your skin. Because your skin absorbs it and it goes right into your bloodstream. So if you go into a chlorinated pool, and you go swimming inside a chlorinated pool, chlorine strips your body of oxygen. So when you get out the pool, you'll feel exhausted, you'll feel tired because of that. So that's why you need to focus on the things that you go into, places that you go into. Make sure that where you're going into is a saltwater pool so that you can have salt water absorb into your skin. Don't go into chlorinated pools. Don't put any chemicals onto your body. Check your skin cream. Make sure that the ingredients are very, very simple. Something like olive oil or something like coconut oil. Shea butter cream kind of closes up your pores, so you wouldn't want to use too much of that. But just use things that are conducive that you would put inside your body and put them inside your skin. Your skin's gonna hydrate just like your body. So, foods. Make sure that your foods are raw fruits, raw vegetables, cooked foods, cooked vegetables. Think of this, fruits are cleansers, okay? Fruits are the cleansers, vegetables are the builders. And all protein comes from plants. All protein comes from plants. If you're trying to build muscle and you're thinking, how can I build muscle and I'm eating a plant-based diet? I'm 42 years of age. I've been plant-based for the last 8 years. I am 190 pounds, less than 5% body fat. I am on it. I do it every day. I've been great. My fitness level is heightened level of fitness. I can build muscle whenever I feel like it. It's based upon carbohydrates. It's not based upon protein. Your body needs simple carbohydrates in order to power it for the exercise it's going to go do. So again, when you have good energy, it's because you consumed good food. Here it goes with, and also let's talk about oils before I move on. When you check chips, when you eat things like fried French fries, chips, and different snack foods, stuff like that, look at the back and see if they have seed oil. When you have seed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, these oils are also rancid oils. Rancid means toxic because they have to heat it to a certain level in order for you to even be able to consume it. Okay, you don't want to have things like that inside your body because what it's going to cause is it's going to cause IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. When you eat a bag of chips, your stomach's going to shoot out like this. All types of energy and air coming up in there. You see people walk around with these huge guts. It's mostly just gas. It's polluted gas that they have inside, that they have not been able to get out. So I suggest this, when you go get snacks, make these your snacks. Think of something like coconut aminos. Think of something like walnuts, cashews, pumpkin seeds. Even if somebody else eats it raw, always get your nuts and seeds raw and unroasted and unsalted, and you do it. Go to Sprouts grocery store, you can purchase Celtic salt or gray salt. You can get things like, I think there's Baja Gold, Himalayan pink salt. There's multiple things that you can do because when you have a deficiency in minerals and a deficiency in nutrients and vitamins, it's also going to affect your energy level. So you got to go in and get these things, get rid of the seed oils, get rid of the foods, fast food, processed foods, and also do your best not to eat past 9 o'clock. I usually say 7 o'clock because that's how the circadian clock works. Okay, your circadian clock, you should be eating at no later than 7 o'clock, but if you have to eat, cut it off by 9. At 10 o'clock, you have what's called a triple burner, which is basically a combination of the energy side of your heart. Every 2 hours in your Chinese body clock, each organ activates. So at 11 p.m., that's your gallbladder, which controls your stomach acid. Okay, your gallbladder, 11 p.m., stomach acid. 11 to 1 a.m. At 1 a.m., it's your liver. Your liver is what purifies your blood. It's an organ and a gland, purifies your blood. After that, 1 to 3 a.m., which is your liver, you have your lungs. 3 to 5 a.m., your lungs are, obviously you know what your lungs are for. They're here to pump the oxygen to your heart. They pump, the lungs are a pump. All right, when you get up, so from 5 to 7 a.m., you're gonna have your large intestine. And you get up in the morning, the first thing that you should do is don't go consume no bacon and eggs. Don't go get no damn oatmeal. Don't go eat no damn cereal. You go get some 16 ounces of water, 16 ounces glasses of water, and go get a lemon or a cucumber, cut it, put it up in there, and drink that so you can have a bowel movement. Don't move, don't do anything crazy, don't do any, don't do anything. If you're not in the level of purification yet, don't do anything yet. Just focus on clearing your insides out. So when you get up in the morning, 16 ounces of water, lemon water, cucumber water, it's perfect, it's primary, it's great for you, and you make your breakfast where you're breaking your fast with energy. And then after that, 7 to 9 a.m. is going to be your stomach. So then you're going to start to see your energy is going to be getting taken in, and then I say if you have to eat, go with a raw fruit cup. Go with something like grapes, berries, melons, chop them up, mangoes, apples for some fiber, put that out of a bowl, eat that for breakfast. When you break your fast for something that's energizing, what you do is you set yourself up for digesting the entire day. So you want to be able to digest your food your entire day. So eat things that are going to give you the inner environment to move things along the conveyor belt, which is going to be your digestive tract. Okay? That's what we're talking about in terms of food. You want more fiber. All right? Beverages. Listen, y'all. If y'all still drinking 2025, please stop that. Please stop that. By all means. Okay? All right? And the reason why I'm telling you all to do this is because when you have alcohol inside of your body, This is going to be the concept that most people don't understand, but alcohol is not conducive to anything energizing for your body. Okay? Alcohol, what does alcohol do? Alcohol essentially freezes you from, how I put this, it drains you of the energy that you need to have. It drains you of your energy. So alcohol poisons your body. All right, it literally poisons your body. So when you drink alcohol, and let's talk about wine first. People talk about this all the time. They'll say, "Oh, it only has 5%. It only has 2%." I don't give a fuck what percent it got. It got some inside of it. So when you have something that's been fermented, overly fermented, and it's put inside of your body, you put it back inside your body, think of it like this. If you go to have a meal right now, if you go to go eat dinner right now, and you go to go eat some fruit on top of that meal, what happens to your stomach and into your gut? The fruit goes on top of the food and sits on top of your gut, and it begins to ferment. So instead of actually going to digest, it does not digest. It does the complete opposite. It sits there and it ferments, and it makes you feel sick. That's what happens. You're supposed to eat your fruit first, preferably half an hour to an hour before you actually consume your food. My favorite thing to do is eat grapes, eat mangoes, eat watermelons, eat some sort of berries. That what happens when I eat my food after that, it's now going to extract the energy, and it's going to now be able to pull what I need to create ATP inside my cells and then get rid of it and discard it as waste. When you drink alcohol, what happens is you put that beverage inside your body through your solar plexus. You have 12 cranial nerves, meaning this is connected to this. There's called the heart-brain connection, the heart-brain axis, meaning you need to have heart-brain coherence. There's also the gut-brain axis, the gut-brain coherence that you need to have. This is based upon two nervous systems, the enteric nervous system, okay, and central nervous system, which is going to be a combination of your spine and up here, okay? What you need to do is realize that this stomach right here is your intuitiveness. If you can't feel your gut feelings, I'll say it again. If you can't feel your gut feelings, one more time, if you cannot feel your gut feelings, it's because you got something up here that's stopping you from connecting to the divine. When you drink alcohol, what happens to you? Your vision gets blurry. All of a sudden, your proprioception is off. You can't walk in a straight line, so you don't know where you're at in the space. All of a sudden, your consciousness starts to dwindle, and then you become more and more unconscious. That's what happens. Don't think for one moment that you ain't running from something when you take a drink of alcohol. You're running from something. You're keeping yourself away from the divine. Most people are so afraid to tell the truth that they run to the cigarette, they run to the weed smoke, they run to the bottle or to the can. And that's what I'm expressing to you all, is to check your beverages. My favorite drink of all time, negative ORP alkaline water. You can find it at Fresh Pure. Write this down if you don't know what I'm talking about. Fresh Pure, FRESHPURE.com. Negative ORP water. What does that mean? Negative ORP stands for negative oxidation reduction potential. What is oxidation? Think of it as rust. People literally rust from the inside out. You see somebody with major wrinkles all over their face, all over their body, they're just wrinkly. Like, what's wrong with that? Rusting. Oxidation. You need water that's antioxidizing and also alkalizing. You don't get that from the grocery store. You don't get that from drinking Essentia or Alkalign 88 or what other ones do they have? They have a couple of them, all on the grocery store shelves. You don't get that from drinking those waters. You don't get that from it. Water on the grocery store shelf is predominantly dead water, because your water can be alive or dead, charged or not charged. Okay, so learn that. Freshpure.com. You can look up where they have that. Where they have that, literally, okay, it's there's locations for self-service dispensaries all over the place. And you can go find better energy through this water. What happens when you drink this water is it purifies you. It sends everything through, it moves everything through your bowels, it gets you to cleanse yourself. So if you can take 3 days of not eating so damn much food, you're not supposed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They plagiarize. I'm telling you, I was an athlete. I was a professional athlete. I'm still a professional athlete, but I don't play basketball anymore. But I was eating all of this damn food. They told me I gotta take a protein shake after this. I gotta drink a fruit cup combined with a steak and a chicken and all this stuff to get protein. They were just making all kind of shit up. Had to be sick. And I was performing, but I was hurting all the time. I was always sore. I was always inflamed. Why was I so fucking inflamed? Because the food I was eating, the beverages I was drinking. I remember going to IMG Academy. I had a training session in 2016. I was playing for the Indiana Pacers G League team, Fort Wayne Mad Ants, and they came to come see me at IMG Academy. I had to go do basically going into like a personal workout to see if they like my services or not, if I was good enough. I go in there to go play. I'm literally lifting crazy amounts of fucking weight. And then I go to an individual to go get my shots up with this one gentleman, and I can't move my body. I'm out to pulling my calf muscle, stayed in there rehab for like 5 hours to go back to my last session. I made it through the entire time, but I was in so much pain and discomfort because right after I ate lunch, I came out there to go work out, and I just, phew. I thought I tore my Achilles tendon, but I didn't, luckily. And once I figured that part out, the next year, actually, I changed my diet. My partner and I decided to go plant-based. And I was just like, hey, I'm good. I'm tired of feeling like I can't move and being tense all the time. So when you drink alcohol, when you eat bad food, essentially eat meat of any kind, it takes away the energy, the light energy from your body. Alcohol is poison. I don't care if it's 1%. It's poisonous. When it hits the solar plexus, it affects every system inside your human body. I said 12 cranial nerves. That's because you have 12 systems inside your human body. All connected up here inside of your head. This is the mind of God up here. Your pineal gland and pituitary gland. Those two things are controlling how you think, how you act, and how you feel. That's then telling the rest of your body how you're supposed to think, supposed to act, and supposed to feel based upon how you behave. That's why it's such a powerful thing for you to change what you drink, change what you eat. Next is going to be community. Change your community. If your community right now is not supportive of your growth, find a new damn community. Don't sit there and think that you have to be stuck in one place just because that's what somebody goes to, because you went to this church. Listen, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I did my confirmation, all types of things. I did all that stuff. Didn't do anything for me except get me to understand that that was not my pathway. Some people believe it's their pathway, no problem, more power to you. It just wasn't mine. I had to change that community. I had to sit there and say, this is not the right answer. Too many people who are Catholic or Christian or whatever you want to call it, Baptist, too many people are sick. Why are you sick then? If you're so close to God, so connected to God, why are you sick? Why are you struggling? Why are your kids struggling? Why your marriage not happy? You're supposed to be connected to God, right? What's going on? This ain't working. Once I realized it wasn't working, I had to go find more answers. So I had to get up and say, y'all ain't giving me the right game. Y'all interpreting this damn book the wrong way. If everybody had this book and read the book and they're supposed to have this tight level of awareness, why are they still sick? I got people who go to Bible study every damn Wednesday, Sunday, Monday through Friday. Why are you still sick? Something's not right. Something is not working. So because nobody could tell me, I had to go on the pathway of, I'm curious, let me go figure it out for myself. Because the community was not conducive to my growth. found a different community by creating my own. I just created my own. I said, you know what? I'm going to create a community in truth where we don't lie here. We don't have to lie because we're not afraid. People lie because they're in fear. I'm not in fear of anything. I don't think anybody can control me because I'm connected to God. If I'm connected to God, then I always got protection because God's always with me. So why would I think I have to play some character role for somebody to be impressed by me? I don't. I impress myself every day in and day out. People don't think like that. If you are who you say you are, if I am what I am and I say what I am, why would I not think that that's the one all, that's it? Nothing else. People don't have that. And it's based upon your level of community. Think of this, because based upon culture, your culture helps you to guide you towards what community that you go to. Okay? So you think about this. Your community can be a community of billionaires. If you got 5 billionaires around you, you'll probably be the 6th. Or it can be a community of crooks. You got 5 crooks around you, you'll probably be the 6th. You got to pick one. Here's the difference between good and bad energy. All right? What is your community doing? What are they involved in? All right? Where are they going? Taking people? Are they helping people? Are they impacting people's lives? How are they doing it? If they're not doing it the way that you want to do it, start your own community. You have the ability to do your own. Be a leader for yourself and everybody else. Don't be a follower. Don't conform to anyone else's energetic space. Don't do that. Okay? I created my community so people can come in to my institute and then leave out and start their own. I'm teaching you how to plant seeds inside your mind. Once you leave here, go plant some seeds. Start your own company, start your own business. Teach your family how to be generationally healthy. Because that's actually the wealth. I meet very powerful people in terms of finances, but they're very weak energetically. So your money doesn't actually do much after you think about it, because it's just made up anyway. So when you have a sick person with a big bank account, they have to exchange the big bank account in order to get their health back. And they can't even do that because they don't know why they're sick in the first place. It's ridiculous. The people who say there's a fire in their house and they got their kids upstairs. They probably can't even get their ass up the damn stairs to go rescue their kids because they got to go call somebody to go help them. They're so helpless. I meet so many men who they claim to be rich and wealthy, but they get cheated on all the time. Why are you getting cheated on if you got all this money? Because you don't look at their bodies. You thought they're supposed to buy you a spouse? But you a coward. And you weak. Same thing with the women. You don't think for yourself? You don't know how to set positive intention for your man? All you want to do is fight and argue? There's a problem with that. And most men don't want to step up to say, hey, I need you to do this. Well, who don't want to step up and say, hey, I can do this for you? They try to sound like that. And I'm not sitting there saying people need to be servants or be slaves. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're supposed to support her, she's supposed to support you. And I see that in these dynamics. People do not do any of that. They're always at odds with somebody. Why? I don't even know why. If somebody's better, I'm not better than you, you're not better than me. Somehow I need you, somehow you need me. Subconsciously, a woman's supposed to be able to express outwardly because they are the womb of creation, the womb of the mother. That's why things are created through the woman. But the problem with most women that I'm seeing now is they're focused on the outside instead of focusing on the inside. The outer world is more important than the inner world, which is completely wrong. Because all these things I'm talking about right now affect the next generation that comes through the portal that is the woman's womb. If the woman's not purified, there's a problem. There's a problem. And many times the man doesn't know how to help the woman become purified. That's a problem. So somebody has to learn to be a teacher. I believe the man's job is you need to go learn something. Research something, go be a teacher. Okay, you learn how to provide, that's not a problem. Once you learn how to provide, once you learn how to do what you need to go do for yourself, you need to start teaching and bring them closer to God within themselves. The God is within you. You have to unlock that God by lighting up this vagus nerve, sending the energy through the Sushumna channel from down here to up here. Once this gets lit up, it now becomes the mind of God. The pineal, the pituitary, it begins to intertwine like the snake up the base of the spine, top of the head, the kundalini. When you open up that awareness, you have now a God consciousness. That's what that means. I don't care what anybody else tells me in terms of community, based upon culture. I don't care. That's what I believe. I'm sending it out to people because I'm saying once I got purified, I stopped caring about everything on the outside. I only cared about what my heart was telling me to do. And it guides me to everything. And I never get scared. I never have any fear. It doesn't matter whatever's going on. I know I can figure it out because I got the power of the Creator within me. That's a different level of culture. Create your own culture. There's too much slave culture. There's too much things of the past. Here's the difference. I want you guys to understand this, okay? And this is a big thing for you guys to understand. If you don't understand the difference between past and future, you're going to learn it right now. So this is, when people say past, when people say future, okay, you have two distinct words. And the word past and the word future literally mean, so I'll write right here. So I'll write past, okay, and then I'll write future. And you'll see just what I'm talking about, how powerful this is for you to know. All right, so the word past, what does the word past mean? The word past means the time or period of time before speaking or writing. So let's just write this, the time before speaking. The time before speaking or writing. That's the past. Okay? The time before speaking or writing, that's the past. Here's the chick. Here's the kicker. And I'm gonna be exact. So I have a blog I'm gonna write on this actually. The same thing. Now, what is future? Future is the time or period after. The time after speaking or writing. How crazy is that? I just said that. So basically, this is what this means. The time or period of time before speaking or writing is actually the past. The time or period after speaking or writing is the future. If you don't write your goals down, you're never going to get them. If you don't have a vision board right now that you can see, that your mind can see subconsciously in the background, if you don't have that written down somewhere where you can see it somewhere, you don't have an affirmations list that you write down and say, I'm grateful for this, and you write it down right now. It's called positive present tense. You want $1 million? You need to put down, I am grateful I earned $1 million. You want a new house? I'm grateful I'm living in my new house. It's called positive present tense. You have got to set yourself, because when you say, I am grateful, I'm living in my new house, that's the time after speaking or writing it. Therefore, you're telling your body to feel that way. And that's what you mean by prayers. That's what I'm talking about. If your community can't tell you that, they tell you to get up on your knees and genuflect and go get some bread and go get some wine and pray to the Most High, who's up inside the clouds somewhere that you can't see. Who? Who are you looking for inside the clouds of the sky? You're looking for yourself. It's just you. It's you. You're God. You're the God. See the finger? You are God. So you can be able to speak these things in for yourself. That's how that happens. You change the culture. You stop having this death culture, celebrating chaos and sleeping with somebody else's girl, sleeping with somebody else's man, basically prostitution, basically just foolishness. You should hear this music people talk about in this damn culture. It don't make no sense. It's all cultures. All cultures, you just had one unified, but not saying you have one understanding of the unified field. You can have it from a different place. Nobody's going to be exact same chemistry. No, but just learn that you can understand how things work based upon universal law. Okay? Let's keep going. So lastly, we're going to have fitness, finances, intention, God, and physiology. Fitness. When you are entangled with bad energy in terms of fitness, this is what you do. You overtrain yourself because you under-rest yourself. You have problems with egoic lifting. You're thinking that you have to go pick up the heaviest amount of weights that you can be seen. You're trying to work and overwork yourself because you're running from something. That's not good fitness level. You have to have a way to track your progress. You got to go put together a 3-day or 4-day or even 6-day, but you don't train yourself and pick up houses every day. You don't try to go push cars and pick it up a ton of weight. You don't do all that stuff. You need to have a time to build your muscles. Okay? So level of fitness with bad energy is when you start to do things based on being seen, based on running from something. When you use the gym, and instead of a tool for growth and mental capacity, you use the gym to run away from your problems. You don't do that. The gym doesn't help run away from your problems. You know why? The weight won't move unless you move it. So if you go too heavy because you're sitting there trying to be seen by any and everybody, you're going to hurt yourself. And you know what I learned in the weight room? The weights don't give a damn about you. The weights could care less about you. The weights ain't worried about how you feel about them. The weights do not care about how you feel about them. So if you go in and do cardio one day, cardio is great. Increasing your VO2 max is great. Increasing your capacity to have more energy is great. But if you're doing it again for the wrong reasons, do not go in there with bad energy, because if you go in there with bad energy, you will not grow. You will not grow. You'll basically kill all of the progress that you're going to make, that you're thinking to make. Don't do that, y'all. That's not what you want to do. Okay? That's not what you want to do. All right? So, fitness. Have a plan to track your progress, to know what you're doing, to know why you're doing it. Don't make movements that you don't know why you're doing. Don't make moves that you don't know why you're doing it. Don't do that. That's not how it works. Okay? You want to be consistent. You want to be active in the gym. Celebrate your body in the gym. You don't want to hurt yourself inside this gym. That's not what you want to do. Okay? After a level of and fitness affects a whole lot more things than you think. So let me also get into that. Because if you have bad energy at this moment in time, the level of fitness that you have is going to essentially, it's going to help you to become happier. It's going to help you to become happier. Okay? And so think about this. When you have a level of fitness and consistency, the good thing about that, the great thing about fitness is endorphins. It releases inner happiness. It's a chemical to combat depression. It's a chemical to combat anxiousness. But you have to make sure that when you go to do fitness, you're hydrated. You're hydrated. Okay? Just hydrate yourself. Have a plan, preferably strength through length, so that you can do these things. And here, I don't usually do much of this, but I'm gonna celebrate myself today. So you guys want to see how the alkalign lifestyle has affected me, and living like this way, it's affected me in a great way. So here's me, talking about plant-based can't build you muscle. I look just fine with all the muscle that I want. I look great. I look phenomenal. And I'm always gonna get better. And I hope everybody else understands that you can still build your body up by eating plant-based food and eating predominantly fruit, drinking predominantly negative ORP water, and skipping out the protein shakes. You can still do all those things to help your body get better. I'm telling you guys, it's real. And so please think about this. Detoxification of your cells is real. Fitness is a great thing. Once you detoxify yourself, disease goes away. You attract better people whenever you're fit. It's a level of discipline that comes from seeing somebody who has a fit body. You believe them because look at them. This isn't built by, I didn't go get liposuction. I didn't go get surgery to go get this. I had to get up every single day. I'm going to the gym after I get done with this. That's why I came here, just as a pit stop. You see what I'm saying? It's on my mind to keep myself healthy because this is my lifestyle that I live. It's easy for me. Now, it's easy for me. So fitness, finances. When you attract better energy, you attract money. You attract money. The reason people are broke is because money does not actually like you. It didn't like me for a long time. I was not magnetic. I was not authentic. I was not vulnerable to ask for it. I was not worthy of receiving it because I didn't say I was worthy of receiving it. That's why I didn't get any. I was so afraid I had to be an employee. I had to have somebody to design it and give me a check. Finally, I was like, I don't need to do all that. Just make my own stuff. But I had to believe in myself more. Once you grow yourself in your own body and your own energy, and you find a group of people who you can go to tell your ideas to, like I talked about in the beginning, when you can do that, you can find a team and build a team to help you. But mainly it starts with coherence in your own mind and heart, in your own mind and gut, because this drives your finances. If you have too much gluttony, if you have too much greed, you aren't a giver. Therefore, not being a giver makes you not even a receiver. You have to be able to give in order to receive. If you can't give, you can't receive nothing. So don't think for one moment that you can give for free. You ever seen a homeless fat person? Fat people are unhealthy because they have so much greed, because they've stopped themselves from expression on the outside. And they have so much bottled up anger. That's what happens to them. That's what happens to them. I'm just telling y'all and I haven't actually been overweight. I haven't been a person that's like that. I've been around people who have been, and it's painful to watch. It's painful to watch. Okay. I've been around people who have been, and it's painful to watch. It's painful to watch. Okay.
Don't be that person. All right? Don't be a person that's focused on gluttony. Don't be a person that's focused on themselves only. Don't be that person. I'm just telling y'all how it works. All right, let's keep going. So, okay, what's next? So finances. So about finances, we're gonna keep it coming with finances. So finances. The reason why bad energy causes people to have bad finances is because well, you have people who are not balanced. People who are not balanced cause you to be imbalanced. And when you have people who cause you to be imbalanced, what they do, they make balance cause you to be imbalanced. And when you have people who cause you to be imbalanced, what they do, they make you look at your money every single day. If you don't wake up in the morning and check your bank accounts, why would you have any money? You don't wake up in the morning and check your bank account, so why would you have any money? It's damn near impossible. Like you're going against the actual way of doing. It's damn near impossible. Like you're going against the actual way of doing things.
Think about that. Think about that. Your energy flows where your attention goes. Why would you have any money if you don't look at it? You should be looking at it all the time, every single moment. If it's important to you to have some, I need you guys to look at it. Look at the money. Focus on your money. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. You're asking for too little, but you should be asking for more. You should be asking for more. And that's a big problem. Ask for more money. Set your goals high. Most of your ceilings are so small and your floor is too small and you're squeezing yourself in. You want $1 million? Ask for 100. Tell God, I want 100. What it's going to do is the God within you is not going to go find a plan to get 100. Don't tell nobody who has a small mind about your plan to get 100 million. Don't tell nobody around you who has a small mind about your plan to get into a bigger house or go get a bigger car. Don't tell nobody who has a small mind. That's the area of entanglement. Do you see what I'm saying? They will entangle and destroy your energy wave. Now you won't do what you're supposed to do. Don't do that. Just focus on changing your lifestyle I guarantee your finances will come with that. When you eat better food, drink better water, find a better community, a better network of people, okay? Find better people in general. Treat yourself with fitness and health. I promise you, you'll attract the wealth that you desire because you'll think about yourself completely different and you'll begin to ask the Creator what you truly desire for yourself. This is based upon intention. Do not send out any intent towards any person that you do not want to experience for yourself. Do not wish bad on anybody, that anything that you would not wish for yourself. Do not wish anything bad on anybody. Only send out positive vibes to everybody because it's going to be reciprocated back to you. I'm telling you right now, your intention, nothing is a secret. So stop acting like you can keep a damn secret. You can't keep a secret in the quantum field. It's a unified field of space with no separation. There's no secrets in this thing. You are entangled with your spouse. You're entangled with your kids. You're entangled with your husband, wife, a brother, sister. Send them good vibrations, even if they hate your guts. Do what's right because you're focusing on the Creator. Okay? It holds no grudges to nobody. It don't penalize you for it don't say that somebody can't get air today. It doesn't say somebody can't get water today. People do that. So allow yourself to have everything. Say these affirmations. Here's one I write down every single day. And I'll read something that I write down for you guys so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I keep my own journal. So this is right here is my actual Awaken Cellular Paradigm Journal. You can find this on my website too. And so what I write down, and you'll see I have a gratitude journal. I've been keeping this for months. This is June 5th. Right now it's what? It's July, okay? So right now you can see here's my July 28th. I just get up and I keep it. So here's an affirmation for you guys to say. It says, today I'm grateful for. All right, I write down, today I'm grateful for my consistent self-discipline and my positive mental attitude. Every single day I write this down. I also write down, today I'm grateful for not committing any lies or self-sabotaging behavior and being a man of my word. No lying, no sabotaging behaviors, and being a man of my word. And then I write down, today I'm grateful for receiving any constructive interference that elevates me in the achievement of my higher purpose and goals. I write this down every single day. And then I write down how I want to feel. All right? Today I feel. I put down, today I feel handsome, sexy, and magnetic. Today I feel unconditionally loved by myself. Today I feel wealthy and worthy of receiving anything I desire from God. Today I feel courageous enough to be my authentic self at all times and disliked by anyone. I don't give a damn about how people think about me. I care about how God within me thinks about me. I set my intentions every single day, and I hope everyone else does the same exact thing for themselves. This is how I coach people. Not only do I purify yourselves, but I also tell you how to keep track every single day of your subconscious mind, and that is what gets you to go get $1 billion and make the biggest impact. You repeating constructive interference to yourself. It's basically a consistent reward system. That's what you're doing. You're rewarding yourself by affirming yourself every single day. No one on the outside has to affirm you now because you did it for yourself. So lastly, you have God, you have physiology. Your intention changes somebody else's physiology. You can send cortisol, you can send adrenaline, you can send negativity to somebody to change their inner physiology and make them sick. When you are angry at somebody, you're sending them cortisol. You're sending them a function of their visceral organs. You're taking away their energy. It's not indicated just their food. Because of your anger sent towards them. You can heal somebody or you can hurt somebody. That's how powerful people are. People are all psychic. Everyone's psychic. Everyone has power, and they all have super consciousness. If you don't know that, you'll be using your powers to harm people. So if you're the person that walks in with constructive interference, with positive intention, you can change someone's physiology who's sick. You can literally go to energy, heal them by sending them enough positive vibes and light from yourself that now affects themselves. But you have to have excess. You can't do this when you don't have a full cup. I have a full cup because every single day I treat myself, I take care of myself, I grow myself. So now my cup runs over. That's what that means. My cup runs over because I have excess. Now my excess is given to you guys for however long I've been talking. Because I have the energy to do that because I took care of myself. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't have no excess. Go back into the lab, go back and follow these instructions: disease, food, beverage, community, culture, fitness, finances, intention, change all this stuff. And then you become lit up with the mind of God. The mind of God is right up here. It's right here, the pineal, the pituitary. When you light up the energy, it shoots all the way up to your body, and you are able to express yourself. That is the mind of God. That's how it works. That's why all of this means your entanglement with bad energy is stopping you, because you're speaking in the past, and now it's becoming your future. Stop recycling the same stories over and over again. Speak in the future what you desire to really have, and then realize that if you don't speak out what you want to become, you never become that. That's it. You're not broken. Nobody is. You're just out of energetic alignment. Okay? So, lastly, our process, Alkalign Lifestyle Healing Process, it's only for leaders, high performance people, people who really truly desire to come back to wholeness, want more than conformity in their lifetime, and want to become their highest, most loving, divine, high-spirited, energetic self. Start with the detox. So click link in my profile. You guys can check out what I offer, my partner as well. We literally cleanse your cells. We also have one-on-one coaching programs. We also have an Alkalign Lifestyle membership that just started. But all these videos that I do right here for you guys teaching, I put those on my membership site so you guys can access them monthly, as many times as you want to, take as many notes as you want to. I also provide a guidebook summaries to each thing that I'm teaching. So you guys can see these things on the board, and I give you a PDF so that you guys can understand these things. So go all in, with our group coaching programs and community programs and everything that we do. And we're going to reset your reality one frequency at a time. That's how we're going to do it. All right? Love y'all. All right. Peace.